joined, or nonprofits. If you're part of a nonprofit organization, you can join RISC-V International free of cost. If you're a for-profit company, there's different fee structure depending on the type of organization. And one of the things I like to point people to, because there's a lot of different resources within RISC-V International, is that there's this landing page on the technical wiki that is a nice way of organizing everything. So let me paste that link in there. So this is a good way to find everything if you kind of get confused with all the different links we're talking about today. This is a good one place to go to find links to different resources. So on there, you find like technical organization charts for RISC-V International. Find out information about the different technical working groups that are working on the different specifications. Recently ratified extensions. So this one's quite interesting because back at the end of last year, a bunch of new extensions were ratified. So you can find out those on the wiki as well. And specifically for those interested in software, there's an interesting page that tries to list a lot of different software projects and the support they have for the different RISC-V extensions. So this is a good thing to look at if you're interested in a particular piece of software and you want to see what support it has for all the different extensions. And another thing that's important to know is that there are a lot of mailing lists, and that a lot of the work on the specifications is done over these mailing lists. So you can view the mailing list server here. There's a lot of different subgroups, and the archives are all public, so anyone can go and view the archives of the mailing list. If you want to participate, then you need to join RISC-V International. But like I was saying, as an individual, you can join free of cost. So that shouldn't be too much of a barrier for people to participating on the mailing list. And another important thing is that there is a calendar of technical meetings. So a lot of these different technical groups have bi-weekly or monthly meetings, and there's a calendar that you can click on that shows you what all the different meetings are. Anyone else feel free to chime in, but the ones I usually try and attend are the let's see, the platform specification working group, which is right here. This is the platform HSE, which stands for Horizontal Steering Committee. So this is the group that's working on the RISC-V platform specification. That one happens every 2 weeks. There's also the overall one, which is for all of the software committees. So this one, called the Horizontal Software Committee, is kind of the overall umbrella for all the different groups that are working on software related standards and specifications. So this is a good one to join. It's once a month. Anyone else have any other meetings that they want to highlight that you try and attend? Or feel free to type it into the chat. Let me flip back to the slides here. Yeah, this is the calendar I was talking about here. A lot of the different meetings that happen. And a piece of news since last time I think we had one of these was there's the latest patch set that was posted for Linux kernel to support this page-based memory types, and specifically the additional variation that the all-winner D1 SoC has. So for people that are interested, especially in the D1 being supported in the mainline Linux kernel, this might be an interesting patch set to look at. I don't know if anyone had any comments on this or has played around with this at all. I know Wei-Fu, you had been involved with this at one point.
Yes. Well, I also will, since I'm busy on Fedora 13.6 before, so I will start to go back to working on upstream the RISC-V patch set for now. This is included.
Okay. I'm going to flip back here real quick. Someone was asking about the software list. So let me grab this hyperlink here, paste that into the chat. Yeah, so I guess the good news here is, I mean, it's continuing to go along. So hopefully at some point, those will get merged in. And we'll, I guess, then have a path towards the D1 running mainline. I think is Samuel on here as well, Samuel Holland. You might have some thoughts about this. I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself, but or if you have anything you wanted to add.
Not particularly. I mean,
Okay.
there's still several pieces of hardware that need support before mainline will boot.
Mm.
With the page-based memory types and the cache maintenance operations, which is another series that Heiko sent out, are two of the big ones. And then the next one is the IRQ chip that Allwinner added a custom layer on top of the PLIC to add additional wake-up support.
Mm.
So that will need support before we can start sending a device tree upstream,
Okay.
because that sort of affects all the other nodes because they have to be hooked up to that different interrupt controller with a different binding.
Okay. Is the NASA page still a good place to look on the Sunzi wiki?
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
still up to date. There have been several series that have been merged for various hardware support, but the branches referenced there are still, I've been updating them. Most recently on top of 5.18 RC1, I actually ported over the HDMI support from the vendor kernel. So now there's a mainline based branch with HDMI support.
Okay, great. That's good to hear. Let's see here. Yeah, did anyone have anything else they wanted to add about D1? I know I think you've been working on it, right, Fuwei? For Fedora at least, right?
Yes, actually we already tried Fedora 36 on the D1 that works perfectly. So we are making the new brand new how to say the package report for now on Chinese Academy of Science server. So under the help of Wei Wu. So we have the server, we rebuild the code and the imaging, the Fedora 36 imaging is coming. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you still have that? Is the wiki page, the Fedora wiki page, still a good place to look for that?
No, yeah.
Okay.
We just finished the imaging this Monday. So
Okay.
we haven't posted it on the wiki page, but
Okay.
it definitely will finish in this week.
Okay, cool. And then I was not on the last time this meeting happened at this time for the Asia time zone. So I know there was several new slides that were created last time. I don't know if you wanted to go over some of them. I can also make you a host as well if you had anything you wanted to share, like on the screen.
Actually, I don't have too much update on that. That's the thing I prepared for last time. We talking about the incoming development board. So the information just like that list kind of yeah, there's just like the list we trying to. So you can, if you have any new development board is coming, you know that, and please let us know. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And it looks like there's links in here so people can click on. Let me. Oh, someone was saying they can't hear any audio, but I mean, it looks like most people are able to hear the audio. So sorry about that. Oh, okay, good. Looks like that problem's fixed. And Jim mentioned Intel Horse Creek, which I'm not familiar with. Is that maybe something with RISC-V? Ah, it's a RISC-V system with Sci-Fi. Okay, that Intel is doing. So that's interesting. That'll be seems quite interesting. Let's see. And then it looks like Fuwei, you had put down some information, or Weiwu, you'd put down information about some of the Linux distros.
Yeah, so we can go through the list.
sure.
Let's start from Fedora. So I think that Weifu will maybe the most familiar with it. So perhaps Weifu can give some updates on the Fedora side.
Yeah, I just how to say it, kind of announced that we already have 36 and Python, Perl, and Rust, LLVM, and CLAN has been updated to the latest version of Fedora, and I guess Python is 3.10, Perl is 5. Yeah, kind of 36, I guess, at 34, 36. Yeah, so all the software base has been rebased to the latest one, and so everything goes fine, and the imaging is coming. Yeah, and with XFCE desktop package, so we already made the desktop booting up, so everything perfect right now, even on D1 and Starlight board and the board I have right now. Yeah, that's all the thing. Okay.
And the CAS is the Chinese Academy of Sciences, is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
of course. We are using their Koji system right now, and we deploy more than 70 builder, so we can produce more than 1,000 package a day.
Okay, great. That's good. And then I'm not too familiar with Gen 2, but what does keywordings mean in this context?
Yeah, I'm not familiar yet, but it kind of that enables the building of software on the RISC-V side or on the platform. So just we can just consider that it's some new softwares can be built successfully on the RISC-V platform in Gen 2.
Okay. There, let me, someone asked for the link. I'm gonna drop the link back into the Zoom chat again for these slides here. And let me go back to full screen here. Okay, so and this is running on the the Sci-5 unmatched Gen 2 is?
Yeah, so the Gen 2 team has 5 or 6 unmatched board, and some of them are also running on QEMU. But they, so they do the compilation work natively on unmatched board.
Great. And then for Arch, is this like the percentage of packages that are built for RISC-V?
Yes.
Yes. So I was still in the Gen 2 side, or the how do we go to the Arch?
Oh yeah, but yeah, feel free to talk more about Gen 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see that if there are any developers from the Gen 2 team. But no, if there's not, we can go through to the Arch Linux. Yeah, so the Arch Linux, some kind of they are keeping the good pace, and a lot of softwares they have built successfully faster than the other distros. So yeah, so I'm also not familiar with Arch Linux. So that if there are any member any attendees was from the Arch team, RISC-V team, maybe can give some more information. Basically, I just copied the status from the other slides and I paste it here.
Okay, I'll add some more details. We have some senior members working on LibreOffice and also Qt6 web engine and some other bigger projects like Crystal language. This is an ongoing effort, so our patch repository has a lot of new patches every week, and we are publishing the finished packages there, so other distributions can look up patches.
Oh, I think I can add the. So would you please add the links of the repository or the status so of Arch Linux so we can add it into the slides?
Okay. Also, we are trying to embed the link libatomic patches into GCC package, so our distribution don't need individual hacks like every build system and every package. Okay, I have seen the link.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I will add it to the slides.
Thank you.
By this way, I have to thank Felix because we will we will link us all the different, the distribution, and when we working on Fedora 36, we got a lot of help from Arch Linux from Felix, because so anytime when we got a problem, I will call him and say, yeah, we got a problem, do you have patches? So we always visit this link, get some patch and see if they can fix our problem. So thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually I did a little investigation how to pronounce his name correctly.
Yeah, please. I just call him in Chinese and never, so you correct me. Yeah.
So I used to call him Felix, but it's kind of said that it should be called Felix. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. And many thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So the next is from the Debian part. So I see that the developers, contributors working on the RISC-V pause did not show up. But basically, basically I know that at least one staff from the ISCAS is working on porting or improving the RISC-V supports of the Debian distribution, and the long-term goal is that maybe we can bring RISC-V to the next official support architectures of in Debian. So currently we are just initializing 6 matched boards, trying to integrate into the Debian CI infra, so that the Debian CI infra team can try to build Debian natively on the RISC-V platform. Yeah, and hopefully that by the end of July, that the ISCAS will build a new RISC-V lab in Beijing with more than 100 MH boards and several version 5 from Start 5. So that will be a very big CI farm, something like that. And at that time, that hopefully we can build.
So is Debian CI something that's part of the Debian organization, or is this something that you've set up locally to your lab? Did we lose you, Weiwu? Well, hopefully we can get you back. I don't looks like you're unmuted, but I don't hear anything from you, Weiwu.
For me?
Hello?
Thank you, thank you. Yeah,
Yes. Hello? Yeah.
hello. I'm sorry. I'm Peter lost. Hey, Debian. We will support Debian CI team to build say Debian CI in for auto task packaging.
Okay.
But we collaboration with them, but its building is doesn't finish right. Next week. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you. So I'm back. So
Oh,
yeah, sorry, I didn't know which my mic was dropped. So I think I was introducing the Debian system, Debian CI, but
yeah.
yeah, apparently I don't know from which part my Mac dropped. So
yeah, you just talked about the unmatched boards. You know, you just talked about this line for Debian with the unmatched boards.
Yeah, I think the Vima just introduced and I'm also not sure that I pronounced his name correctly. The Vima, and his Chinese name is Yubo, and he's also my colleague who is working on the RISC-V side for improving the RISC-V for Debian distribution.
Okay.
Yeah. And for the open source side, I did not reach out to the Andrews, which I think that he is supporting and maintaining the Chromium and other important software on SUSE. So he did really a good job. And the last is the OpenULA. So there's a OpenULA is a very new community and a very new distribution. So basically they are kind of like behind the other distributions. The OpenULA RISC-V just established a very preliminary CI infrastructure. So just the past 2 weeks, in last 2 weeks, that the OpenULA RISC-V distribution can reach out a milestone that they can build their system on a daily basis and generating the QEMU images for testing. And the basic release engineering process had been established last week. So currently that the good news that there's a very active developer community in mainland China. So so still in an early stage, but very promising. So I think you are muted. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You want me to go to the next slide?
Yeah, so I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
yeah, we can go to the next slide.
Okay. So this is the latest with Android.
Hi, can you hear?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hello everyone. I'm Chen, and I'm from PLCT lab together with Wei. Please allow me introduce the information about this slide. The RISC-V International has set up the Android SIG at about middle of last year, and the acting chairs of this group is Mao Han from Alibaba and Zhang Zhen from Imagination, and I'm from PLCT lab together with them working on this project. And last year, and the SIG has implemented the RISC-V porting for AOSP 10, and now we are working on porting AOSP 12. And I summarize some information here in the slides about our work. And now, in briefly, the current our progress on 12 is we have bring up the system, and it can now run on the in text mode, and now we are working on the ART, the virtual machine part, and try to bring it into the full GUI mode. Yeah. And the slides are just listed some PR works for your reference.
Is this the one that you want up right now? This one with the links to the pull requests? Oops. Because there's two slides here. If people have opened up the link to, there's this one, and then looks like you have more information on the next one. I was curious though, how does this differ from what Alibaba T had demoed? Is this the same? Is that a continuation of what he had?
The code on the GitHub for Android SIG, we now use it as upstream, and the major part of this code are the same that you mentioned, the Alibaba T had.
Okay. So this sounds like the next big step for this is to have the GUI mode, to have the graphical interface. Is that right?
And the Alibaba demo is based on AOSP 10.
Okay.
And now we are working on bring it up running on with the AOSP 12.
Okay. All right. So that's the current release of AOSP. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So it's trying to keep up keeping up with what Google's doing then, right?
Google are interested in this work, but now the major work are from ourselves.
Okay. That's great. I mean, I think this is really exciting to have the Android or AOSP running on RISC-V. Was there anything more on this next slide that you wanted to mention?
No, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, and I shared the link to the slides in here so everyone can go in and click on these individual links if you're curious. And then it looks like the next one is the RISC-V lab. Unless, was there anything else we want to talk about with the Android or AOSP?
I know from me now.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah. So basically, let me give some background or the call for contributors. So the Android open source project, it's a very huge project, and so in the first place that the PLC lab is trying to porting the AOSP for RISC-V. So we create create the account on GitHub, and later 3 months later the T-Head just released their open source their porting for porting of Android project 10 for RISC-V. So since that time on, so the T-Head and the PLC lab was collaborate as one community team, and so basically the AOSP RISC-V account is just can seem like the downstream of the Android SRC and the maintenance of the RISC-V International. So and basically the Wangchen's team is collaborating with the T-Head on a daily basis. So they're discussing the bugs and the issues and the tasks, the priorities or something like that. But unfortunately that currently the Google does not involve a lot. So basically we are just contributing and collaborating and the RISC-V International. And hopefully that we can do some more work collaborating with Google or the Android or the upstream Android team maybe next year. So yeah, that's the current situation. Still in an initial stage. So and currently about more than roughly 10 active contributors work on this project, but that's we need more contributors to join in. So if anyone was interested in the porting AOSP to the RISC-V or any other small or sub modules or sub projects, so feel free to reach out to the T-Head or the PLC lab, and yeah, we are very open, and there are going to be there's some open channels and the open repositories. Just feel free to open issues.
There's a mailing list, right, for the Android special interest group? Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. Let's see. And there, I think on RISC-V.org, right, there's a RISC-V SIG for Android. Let's see if I can, unless you have the link, I was going to see if I can paste it in there. Probably need to go here. All right, yeah, here it is. So this is the official mailing list, right, for this special interest group. So I suppose people could join this list if they want to stay up to date. Is that a good idea?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are there meetings or yet for Android, or is it just the mailing list so far?
So far, I think that there's a mailing list and
Okay.
no regularly or periodically meetings yet. They do have some few meetings in past time, but it's not on a monthly basis or something like that.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to the slides here. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited to see more of Android on RISC-V. Should I go to the next slide with the lab?
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the RISC-V lab, there's no big changes. So everything just everything is running well, and we just add more and more pull requests and more developers and communities connect into the RISC-V lab. So yeah, and currently we are still working the service for the individual members or the amateurs are still not open yet. We are currently more mainly focusing on the developers from the open source communities.
Okay.
Yeah, and due to the COVID-19 situation in Shanghai, so which was the Star 5 located at, so the Beijing RISC-V lab may delay 4 or 6 weeks due to the logistics and the current situation in mainland China.
Right. So I see this photo here. Are these the top photo? Is that on matchboards there?
Yeah, so they are all matchboards, and we just put into the ATX box.
Nice. That's impressive. It's a lot. It's a lot of RISC-V in one room.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, since I guess since I'm controlling the screen, let me know if you want me to go to the next slide, or was there more? Was there more on this one?
Yeah, so we can go to the next slide.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right.
So and for the CI testing progress, there's also no big changes. So just things are just going well, and we just which mainly I was writing the charter of the CI testing. So basically the new SIG for the CI testing we're trying to form a new SIG and several test groups inside the RISC-V International. Yeah, so so we can go to the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the GCC part, we not sure Java is on it, so we can just go skip it, and to see if he online, we can go back. Okay, so yeah, I think our buddies may on the meeting, so I'm not sure if anyone can introduce the new patch stats.
So these numbers are like pull requests, or I'm not sure how it works with LLVM.
Yes, the numbers. Yeah, please.
I am the LVM compiler engineer from APLCT. Let me introduce our work in the last 2 weeks. This patch is upstreamed in LVM's review website. The first is the codegen support for RISC-V ZFIX extensions. The MC layer support is finished and upstreamed to the LVM's LVM official repository. This patch is the codegen support for the arithmetic instructions. The second patch is to support dot option arch directive. This directive is on the stage of proposing. It's now under reviewing. This directive is extended from the dot option RVC and the dot option no RVC directive. And the third patch is about big extension intrinsic support. It's just supports CLZ instructions. The fourth patch is to add the basic code model for the LVM experimental step vector intrinsic. This code model is not very it's just a constant instruction constant instructions, the number of instructions to specify the code the cost. So it is not very it's not very, I think not very right. It needs to be optimized. And the fifth patch is about adding the lazy JIT support for RISC-V 64. In the previous, I have finished the LVM's JIT link support for RISC-V 64 and RISC-V 32. Now, I think if the developer want to use JIT linker, it can compile and link and run the Hello World program successfully. The sixth patch is to fix the bug in the LVM's RISC-V support of shrink wrapping, because shrink wrapping will schedule the block that insert prologue and epilogue instructions. So if the block to insert the epilogue instruction is empty, or if this block's instruction is all the debug instruction, then maybe in the current source code, it maybe gets a debug log for the end node of MBB iterator. This will make the compiler crash, and this patch can fix this problem, and maybe the shrink wrapping function can enabled by default. And the last patch is a refactor of the LVM source code, just to use the array reference in the target lowering functions. That's all.
Great. Should I move on to the next one then?
Yeah, please.
This one looks like QEMU.
Yeah, so we can
Spike.
just skip and to
Okay.
see if that the QEMU guys can back.
All right, V8, that's probably a popular one, an important one, I presume.
Okay. Hi, Drew. Would you please make some refresh for your web page to get the latest content for the V8 page?
Yeah, let me see here.
Refresh the page in your browser. Okay.
Let's see here. It's reloading here, and let me go to, let's see.
Let's see whether we can see the latest content of it.
Yeah, does that look right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chuji from PLCT. Let me introduce the latest status of the V8 for RISC-V for you. First of all, we have made some upstream updates for the RISC-V 64 backend. There are several ports that will port the latest upstream changes to the RISC-V backend, and we are now working for fixing the bug that is introducing by the WebAssembly dynamic tearing up. Yeah, we are working for it. And the second, for the RISC-V 32G porting, we have opened an LFX mentorship in the beginning of March, and now we are working on progressing, and we had finished some initial porting for microassembler, and all the work is open sourced in the GitHub. Third, we have heard that some update of Node.js from Stuart. He is a core collaborator of Node.js. He is working on a pull request to make the node run automatically on each release. And he had tried running RISC-V through the Node.js on Unleash, and he released an unofficial builds in a link in the slides. Yeah, you can have a try. And he had announced several test cases that will run at the above version he tested on Unleash. And our PLCT also recorded our test result in the GitHub issue. Also, we found some of the crypto related cases will come out on the match board. Yeah, that's all for the V8 for RISC-V status. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like OpenJDK is next. Did we have someone for that?
Yeah, so I'm not sure that the engineers from the Beijing team from Huawei or the Longxi team from the Alibaba has joined the meeting. So the good news is that finally the RISC-V port for the 64 bits now it's fully upstream. So if I remember correctly from the Java 19, that the Java 19 will support RISC-V natively or originally. So that's a very big change or progress.
Great. Should I go to the? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. Any questions?
It seems they also support the V extension of RISC-V. So it's actually RV64 GCV. Is that correct?
Oh, thanks. I will update the slide.
I thought it would update live, but I guess maybe Google Slides doesn't do that. Should I move on to the next one? I think you're muted right now. Or no, you're not muted, but I'm not hearing anything. I do see two Weiwu accounts. Oh, okay. You're saying go to the next slide. All right.
Could everyone can hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, my name is Dini Zhang from PLCT Lab. I'm very glad to make a short introduction about our work on putting Openjdk to RV32G. Our project is referring to Vision JDK 11, which is RV64G porting of OpenJDK from Huawei. Here is our project repo on GitHub. We have added RISC-V 32-bit support to 0, and the interpreter is already finished. We also do some popular benchmark, and the path strength is similar to the earlier version of Vision JDK 11. Now we are working hard on porting GIT, including C1 and C2. C2 is working in process, and C1 is to do. Please stay tuned. That's all. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Is there any questions about that one, or should we move on to the next? Looks like Weiwu's having some problems with his mic. Let me head on to the next one here.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So I closed the camera. So for
Okay.
the Spider Monkey for RISC-V. So I was I opened the mentorship last year, and 2 students will join this program and contribute a few patches. But unfortunately, it turned out the JIT support for the Spider Monkey is very hard. So after a few weeks, that we reached the very initial patch for the last year. And this year, that the Choji from the PLCT VA team will start to try to look at this patch set and continue the porting of Spider Monkey. And the Spider Monkey has an interpreter model. It works well. So actually, what we are doing is just porting the just-in-time compilers inside the Spider Monkey engine, and it has several different JIT compilers. So the work is very it's not an easy job or task. So basically, the initial that this year we can finish the porting of the baseline JIT compilers. There are other compilers. One is advanced compilers for JavaScript, and the other is for the WebAssembly. Yeah.
Great. And so SpiderMonkey is thus the JavaScript engine from Mozilla. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's embedded in the Firefox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I head to the next one?
Yeah, next one.
Okay.
Yeah, Liu Tonghai is working on the RISC-V, is improving the OpenCV performance on RISC-V platform. I'm not sure he is online or not. So if he's online, I will introduce the phone. Yeah. Do we have a chance to let you introduce?
Yeah. Liu Tonghai from PLCT Lab, and let me introduce our work about porting OpenCV to RISC-V vector. And last year, we optimized the OpenCV DNN module for by using RISC-V vector intrinsic functions, and we implemented some kernel functions in DNN modules such as convolution for OpenCV, and we have several patches have been merged into OpenCV master and released with the new versions. And in this year, we are going to modify the universal intrinsic for RISC-V vector. And the universal intrinsic is a hardware abstraction layer in OpenCV, and we can write the unified vector code by using Universal Intrinsics API. And the code can be compiled and run on different SIMD platforms. And currently, OpenCV Universal Intrinsics is covering different SIMD extensions, such as AVX on Intel and Neo on ARM. The above platform is designed with a fixed size register, but the RISC-V vector, as we know, is designed with variable register size. Is also called a sizeless. And so the current Universal Intrinsics is not suitable for RISC-V vector. Although there is already a RISC-V vector backend in Universal Intrinsic, but the performance is very poor and only supported fixed vector size with 128 bits. So we are going to modify the Universal Intrinsics for the variable size architecture, especially for the RISC-V vector. And this all.
Great, that's exciting. I mean, I think CV is very widely used, so that's good to see that it can take advantage of vector. Is there any hardware in the lab that supports vector yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We just run on the simulator.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks for the update. Should I head on to the next slide?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, looks like it's you.
Yeah, it's me again. So yeah, last year, we write an open letter to see that we think that they're going to be a RISC-V laptop by the end of this year, which is 2022. And currently, there's no new actions has been seen on the hardware part, but given that the Xiangshan team open source their processor, the performance results, and that is very promising. So currently we are still optimistic on building having a RISC-V laptop by the end of the year. So it turned out building so I did a little investigation that building a laptop is not hard if we had the CPU and SoC at hand. So the manufacturing of a laptop is very mature, so that we can build it using not so much budget, and we can get some prototypes. So the current bottleneck is still in the selection and the integration of the CPU, RISC-V CPU and SoC. So and the PLC lab and the ISCAS is working mainly on the software part. So as we mentioned in the PLC roadmap 2022, that there are last 5% softwares which are important and not fully support RISC-V. The one of them is that LibreOffice. So and the good news that in the last month we have one full staff working on porting LibreOffice to RISC-V, and at least half of a dozen contributors and the interns and volunteers was also working around the LibreOffice to make it work on the RISC-V.
Great. So is LibreOffice, is that written in Java?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I think not.
Okay.
LibreOffice have some components that's written in Java, and our porting also involves OpenJDKs.
Okay, great. So is one of the constraints to having the laptop is having a mass production SoC that would have give it good enough performance?
Not sure.
Because like right now, I think, well, the only one that's really in mass production, right, is the Allwinner D1, which would not be enough for a laptop, right?
Yeah, so the performance of D1 may not good enough for the laptop use, and the version 5 from Star 5 the performance is still under evaluation, and may also may not powerful enough for the laptop, and the Xiangshan is still in early design and validation stage, so they're not into the massive production stage. And by the end of the year, they will have the second generation of Xiangshan processor named Nanhu, and his performance will succeed his precedent, the Yanqifu version. So yeah, so let's see if the Nanhu the performance of Nanhu microarchitecture is good enough. Maybe we can use it as a laptop.
Yeah, that'd be exciting, and it's an open source core, so that'd be really great.
Yeah, I think I share same opinion.
Looks like the next one is AOB.
Yeah. Oh, I just forgot to remove this slide.
Okay.
You can just skip it safely.
Is that the last one? Maybe. Let me exit full screen here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the last. Okay.
So that now it's a real AOB. Anyone on board.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's the end here. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, the idea here is for people to join in the conversation, ask questions, talk about anything they're working on. So we have a really large number of people, 31, which is quite good. So yeah, if anyone has things they want to talk about, that'd be great.
So I have a question. So right now we have an OpenJDK, right? So it's supported. Do we have a horizontal comparison between the OpenJDK on RISC and the OpenJDK on other processors? I mean the benchmarks part.
Yeah, not yet, I think, but I think we have some initial benchmark results publicly online.
Okay, good to know.
What is the Tarsier project?
Oh, so the Tarsier project is a code name for the improving the popular Linux all the popular Linux distributions on the platform. So it's basically it's tied to the RISC-V laptop project. So the RISC-V laptop project says that we think that we can buy RISC-V laptops a few months later, and but what's the software? What's the operating system running on it? So that's a current problem, or the things that we need to solve. So the Tarsier project is just the version or the long-term goal is bring the bring RISC-V to the Tier 1 platform for all the open source projects, and what the milestone or what the project will achieve in before the 2025 is that make sure that every popular Linux distribution can be run on RISC-V laptops, and the users take example, if Arch Linux user can switch their laptop from the other architecture to RISC-V, just like what the Apple did on the Mac OS. So that's our best guess or target, that if we can let users switch their operating system and their applications, just like what the Mac OS did. They did a really successful transition. So that will be very good and seamlessly for the RISC-V community. So that's a long-term goal. So the Tasia project is divided naturally, divided into small groups. So one is for the OpenFUDA RISC-V, and one is for the Archinix, one is for the Gentoo, one is for the Fedora. So, and not all the sub projects go faster in the same pace. So in the first, we just put our main focus on the OpenWUDA RISC-V and trying to, so basically that's there are many easy bugs can be fixed. So you know that OpenWUDA is is kind of lag behind. So we just say on the daily, we just check to learn some patches and reference some patches from the Archinix and trying to fix the bugs on the OpenWUDA software, the software in the OpenWUDA RISC-V distribution, which already run built successfully on the Archinix or something like that.
That's great. Anyone else have anything they wanted to discuss?
Hello, I'm Javi from PLCT. I had prepared the GCC slides part.
Yeah. Let me go back to
13 page 13, I think.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. All right.
Yes. Here is the progress of RISC-V GCC. Most important thing from RVV is that a guy from RIVI company has sent his patch to the foundation, and this support was merged into foundation GitHub repos, and now you can use the RVV supported GCC with BuildTools. And the second is we had implement some extension support in RISC-V spec. One is the CMO extension, which means calc management operation. It implements the prefetch instructions and the cache memory instructions. We had to send the patch to the upstream, and it's still in review. And some instruction styles is still need to discuss. And the next one is the ZC extension is still developed spec, but we had to implement this for use. It means that code size reduction extensions that you can use it to comprise instruction code size. And we are doing some execution test on QML for RISC-V to make sure that the toolchain is work with simulators. The last one is the slides for RISC-V Bloom toolchain meeting. It's held in last week. And here is the slides link. If anyone interested about this, you can take a look here. Yeah, thanks.
Great, thank you. I'm glad we were able to get the GCC update. A couple of people had asked about that, so I'm glad we were able to get to that. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to discuss or add?
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, there's a RISC-V day or some events that held in Japan.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see, events, RISC-V events. Let's see. I believe, yeah, there is coming up. Let's see. Someone was just telling me about it.
Yeah, I also saw the
I don't
news,
know why it's
but
not.
I could not find it. Or maybe it just passed.
I can go ahead and make sure that it gets up there if it's not up first thing in the morning.
Okay, because it was on the, I saw it in the marketing meeting this past week, so not sure.
Yeah. So if it's not displaying, then that's an easy fix for me in the morning. So I'll take care of that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Looks like there's a, oh, looks like there's a community page for it. I think this is, was this what we were referring to, I think?
Yes. Oh, I think that you may change the date.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, the name is correct, and it's more. I think that it's more bigger than what I saw before. I saw before is that it taking place in April and one-day event. Now it's a 10-day event or
Yeah, let me go to the
3-day
main,
event.
I'll go to the main website, see maybe there's multiple things. Let's
Yeah,
see.
the new web page looks cool. Very, very cool.
So let's see. Oh yeah, okay, so it changed from April. Yeah. So it looks like now it's in the end of May.
Yeah, I really wish that I can go to the RISC-V Japan. But likely that it's very it is extremely hard to go across the border of mainland China, either
Right.
in or out. Yeah.
So is this a oh, I think this is just online though. I think it is just an online event. At least.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think yeah, as long as you're in that time zone, I think it should be fine to attend. Yeah, so looks like this is actually, yeah, it's not physical, so as long as people can accommodate that time zone, looks like people can participate.
Oh, good.
It does also look like the CFP is open.
Oh yeah, let me click on that.
Yeah, well, I will forward this to using the CNIV community.
Yeah, that's right. So the CFP, there's still about 2 weeks left.
Yeah, it'll close by the end of April, so we still have time to submit.
Yes. Yeah, so that's good. Very nice. I guess I'll click back over here. So I mean, there are other things that are coming up as well too. Some different conferences. And then I guess this are in between now and the next open hours. There's a couple different conferences that are happening. Should also pull up community risc-v.org because I know there are now a few things other than open hours that showed up on the main page there. Yes, so there's a Cambridge meetup. Let me paste that in here. So looks like it's actually in person. So I suppose for people that are in the UK, this might be of interest. That's cool. So that's happening in about 2 weeks. And then we have the more open hours coming up. Actually, let me pull it up here. So the next one that'll be in this time zone is going to be on May 11th. so people can RSVP for that one. Was there any other events that anyone knew of that's coming up that we should pull up? Or any other topics that anyone wants to discuss? Well, I definitely want to thank the PLCT team. It was great to have all those different updates. Sometimes at open hours we don't always have like a lot of material to discuss, so that was really great to have all those updates. Looks like Weiwu's having trouble with his mic. Well, in the meantime, did anyone else have anything they wanted to discuss? I can bring up, I actually will have a talk coming up for, there's something called the Embedded Online Conference that's coming up. I'll be speaking at that about RISC-V. So if people are interested in that, let me paste the link in here. So I'll be one of the speakers there. I'm going to be talking about the kind of the latest updates with Linux support on RISC-V. Oh, and okay, great. So Weiwu mentioned that try and add some of these events we're talking about to community.risc-v. So yeah, I guess in general, it's always good to remember the community.risc-v.org. Like the idea is to have everything listed on there, so it's easy to find. Let me actually add, maybe I'll put this, the link to the event in Japan, or the online event in Japan, into the notes here. Oh, and the RISC-V Summit China is looking like that's going to happen in July. So that's exciting.
That one's going to be really exciting. And we also have the keynotes and I believe some of the larger presentations for the RISC-V Paris event in the beginning of May. Those will be available online as well.
Great. Yeah, and there is also, I mean, probably most people that are in Europe are asleep right now, but if anyone's watching this afterwards, there is the Paris RISC-V Day that's coming up. I guess RISC Spring Week. Is this it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone's happens to be in Europe in early May, there'll be this event in person.
And
mm-hmm.
anytime any of y'all are out and about speaking about your work with RISC-V, if you give us enough notice, just, send an email to the RISC-V community. You can do info@RISC-V or Thea@RISC-V, and we'll get you guys shirts, stickers, or any of those branded materials that'll help you go out and really represent the community in a good light. So if you need RISC-V shirts or gear, please just shoot me an email and we'll get you set up for your events.
That's awesome. Do you want to paste your email or write it into the comments, the chat real quick? Although I guess people can see your name also if they look at the participants, but that's a good tip. The RISC-V, there's a lot of really nice RISC-V shirts, so I think people should definitely try and take advantage of that.
And then if you have ideas about other things you'd like us to make, shoot us ideas, because we are always looking for new things to put our name on. So
great. Well, is there coming up, I guess, on an hour and a half? Was there any final comments anyone wanted to make or questions anyone might have? All right. Well, if there's nothing else, really want to thank Weiwu and all the people at the PLCT lab that helped give updates. That was definitely exciting to get all those updates during an open hours. So yeah, if there's not anything else anyone wanted to add, then yeah, thanks everyone for joining. I think it got up to 31 people there at one point, so that's really exciting to have that many people on. So thanks for joining, and yeah, the next one, let me well, it's in the slides there. If you go back, let me pull it up here. So the next one is April 27th. That's going to be for Europe and the Americas, and then the next one that's in this time zone will be May 11th here in the US, and be May 12th in the Asian time zone. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye.